Jai Jagadish Hare. Jaya Lakshmi Narasimha Jaya Lakshmi Narasimha Jaya Lakshmi Narasimha Jaya Lakshmi Narasimha Jaya Prahlad Maharaj Prahlad Maharaj Prahlad Maharaj Jaya Prahlad Maharaj Jaya Prabhupada 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 Srila Prabhupada Nrsimha Bhagwan ki jai, Prahlad Maharaj ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Karthik, yes. Krishna. But every time she tries to tie Krishna, the rope is 2 fingers short, the width of 2 fingers short. She gets a bigger one, the same thing happens, even a bigger one, the same thing happens. In the end, Krishna relents, he allows her to catch her and then tie her and tie her to the motor. And then she sort of gets busy with her own work. And Krishna then kind of goes out into the courtyard with dragging the motor behind him. And it gets caught in between the two large trees, the Arjuna trees. And Krishna pulls it, and then the trees kind of fall down, the huge trees fall down, big noise is made. And, excuse me, well, I'll just go into my book here. So, and then basically the two sons of heavenly demigod Kuvera, who were cursed by Narad Muni because they didn't show him the necessary respect when Narad Muni passed through the heavenly planets. So he cursed them to become the trees, and then somehow or the other, further mercy was given to by Narad Muni to these two people, and he said that okay, you will become the trees, stand as the trees, and then when Krishna will come, he will actually free you up. So the two sons of the heavenly planet demigod Kuvera, Managriva and Nalakuvara, so they were actually delivered from the curse of Narad Muni, and they became the great devotees. So we are celebrating this very auspicious month of Kartik, and all spiritual work that we do in this month has manifold effects. So it is very fortunate that you and me are at the Radha Gokulanand temple today. So, and of course the offering the lamp ceremony is taking place at the moment, which is also an additional benefit for us. My name is Yadunath Das, and I thank you again for being here. We will start with some chanting to invoke auspiciousness and offer prayers of gratitude. Please join me in chanting. So we will start with some prayers. Jai Radha Madhava Kunj Bihari, Jai Radha Madhava Kunj Bihari, Jai Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari, Jai Gopi Jana Vallabha Yashodhanandan Braj Jana Ranjana, Yashodhanandan Braj Jana Ranjana, Yamuna Tira Banachari, Yamuna Tira Banachari, Jai Radha Madhava Kunj Bihari, Jai Radha Madhava Kunj Bihari, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jai Radha Gokulanand, Radha Gokulanand, Radha Gokulanand, Shri Radhe. Jai Radha Gokulanand, Radha Gokulanand, Radha Gokulanand, Shri Radhe. Jai Sita Ram Lakshman Hanuman, 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 Jai Radha Damodar, Radha Damodar, Radha Damodar, Shri Radhe. Jai Radha Radha Damodar, Radha Damodar, Shri Radhe. Jai Gauranitai, 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 Jai Gauranitai, Jai Gauranitai, 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 Jai Gauranitai, Jai Prabhupada, 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 Shila Prabhupada, Jai Prabhupada, 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 Shila Prabhupada. Gauram Premanande, Hari Hari Bo. Jai. Anant Koti Vaishnava Vrind ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So, chapter 43, Krishna book by His Divine Grace, Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai, is titled The Killing of the Elephant Kavalapida. So, this is when Krishna and Balaram go over to Mathura for the first time. They leave Vrindavan and they go to Mathura at the invitation of their uncle Kamsa. Kamsa obviously was very inimical to Krishna, and so after taking their baths and finishing all other morning duties, Krishna and Balaram could hear the beating of the kettle drums in the wrestling arena. They immediately prepared themselves to proceed to the spot to see the fun. When Krishna and Balaram reached the gate of the wrestling arena, they saw a big elephant of the name Kuvalapida being tended by a caretaker riding on its caretaker riding on elephant's head. The caretaker was deliberately blocking their entrance by keeping the elephant in front of the gateway. Krishna could understand the purpose of the caretaker, and he prepared himself by tightening his clothes before combating the elephant. He addressed the caretaker in a very grave voice, as resounding as a cloud. "You miscreant caretaker, give way and let me pass through the gate. If you block my way, I shall send you and your elephant to the house of death personified." The caretaker, being thus insulted by Krishna, became very angry, and in order to challenge Krishna, as was previously planned, he provoked the elephant to attack. The elephant then moved before Krishna like inevitable death. It rushed towards him, Krishna, and tried to catch him with his trunk. But Krishna very dexterously moved behind the elephant. Being able to see only to the end of his trunk, the elephant could not see Krishna hiding behind its legs. But he tried to capture him with his trunk. Krishna again very quickly escaped capture, and he again ran behind the elephant and caught its tail. Holding the elephant by its tail, Krishna began to pull it, and with very great strength, he dragged it for at least 25 yards. Just as Garuda drags an insignificant snake, Krishna pulled the elephant from this side to that and from right to left, just as he used to pull a calf by his tail in his childhood. After this, Krishna went in front of the elephant and gave it a strong slap. He then slipped away from the elephant's view and ran to its back. Then, falling down on the ground, Krishna placed himself in front of the elephant's two legs and caused it to trip and fall. Krishna immediately got up, but the elephant, thinking that he was still lying down, tried to push an ivory tusk through the body of Krishna by forcibly stabbing it into the ground. Although the elephant was harassed and angry, the caretaker, riding on its head, tried to provoke it further. The elephant then rushed madly towards Krishna. As soon as it came within reach, Krishna caught hold of the trunk and pulled the elephant down. When the elephant and caretaker fell, Krishna jumped up on the elephant, broke off one of its tusks, and with it killed the elephant and the caretaker also. After killing the elephant, Krishna took the ivory tusk on his shoulder, decorated with drops of perspiration and sprinkled with the blood of the elephant. Krishna looked very beautiful, and thus he proceeded towards the wrestling arena. Lord Balaram took the other tusk of the elephant on his shoulder, accompanied by their cowherd boyfriends. They entered the wrestling arena. When Krishna entered the wrestling arena with Balaram and their friends, he appeared differently to different people according to their different relationships or the rasas with Krishna. Krishna is the reservoir of whole pleasure and all kinds of rasas, both favorable and unfavorable. He appeared to the wrestlers exactly like a thunderbolt. To the people in general, he appeared as the most beautiful personality. To the females, he appeared to be the most attractive male, Cupid personified, and thus he increased their desires. The cowherd men who were present there looked upon Krishna as their own kinsman, coming from the same village of Vrindavan. The impious Kshatriya kings, who were allies of Kamsa, who were present and saw him as the strongest ruler and their chastiser. To the parents of Krishna, Nanda and Yashoda, who were also there, he appeared to be the most loving child. To Kamsa, the king of Bhoja dynasty and Krishna's maternal uncle, he appeared to be death personified. To the unintelligent, he appeared to be incapable personality. They thought he was an ordinary person. To the yogis present, he appeared to be the super soul. Yogis always meditate on the super soul. To the members of Vrishni dynasty, where Krishna was born, the family which Krishna was born, he appeared to be the most celebrated descendant. Thus appreciated differently by different kinds of people present, Krishna entered the wrestling arena with Balaram and his cowherd boyfriends. Having heard that Krishna had already killed the elephant Kvalapida, Kamsa knew beyond doubt that Krishna was formidable. He thus became very much afraid of him. Krishna and Balarama had long arms. They were beautifully dressed, and they were attractive to all the people assembled there. They were dressed as if they were going to act on a dramatic stage, and they drew the attention of all the people. The citizens of Mathura, who saw Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, became very much pleased and began to look at his face with insatiable glances, as if they were drinking the nectar of heaven. Seeing Krishna gave them so much pleasure that it appeared as if they were not only drinking the nectar of seeing his face, but they were also smelling the aroma and licking the taste of his body, and were embracing him and Balarama with their arms. They began to talk among themselves about the two transcendental brothers. For a long time, they had heard of the beauty and activities of Krishna and Balarama. But now, they were personally seeing them face to face. They thought that Krishna and Balaram were two plenary reincarnations of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Narayana, who had appeared in Vrindavan. The citizens of Mathura began to recite Krishna's pastimes, his birth as the son of Vasudeva, his being taken into the care of Nand Maharaj and his wife in Gokul, Yashoda Mata, and all those events leading to his coming to Mathura to favor them. They spoke of the killing of demon Putana, as well as the killing of Trinavrata, who came as a whirlwind. They also recalled the deliverance of the twin brothers from within the Yamala Arjuna trees. This was the Manigriva and Nalakuva. The citizens of Mathura spoke amongst themselves. Shankachura, Kesi, Dhenakasura, and many other demons were killed by Krishna and Balaram in Vrindavan. Krishna also saved all the cowherd men of Vrindavan from devastating fire. He chastised the Kaliya snake in the water of Yamuna, and he curbed the false pride of the heavenly king Indra. Krishna held up the great Govardhan hill in one hand for 7 continuous days and saved all the people of Gokul from incessant rain, hurricane, and hailstorm. They also began to remember other enlivening activities. The damsels of Vrindavan were so much pleased by seeing Krishna's beauty and participating in his activities that they forgot the troubles of material existence. By seeing Krishna and thinking of him, they forgot all sorts of fatigue. The Mathura's citizens discussed the dynasty of Yadu, saying that because of Krishna's appearance in this dynasty, the Yadus would remain the most celebrated family in the whole of the universe. The citizens of Mathura began to talk about Balaram. They spoke of his very beautiful lotus petal eyes, and they remarked of him, "This boy has killed the Pralamba demon and many others also." While they were thus talking about the activities of Krishna and Balaram, they heard the vibrations of different bands in the wrestling arena announcing the wrestling matches. There was a famous wrestler by the name Chanura. He began to talk with Krishna and Balaram. "My dear Krishna, my dear Balaram," he said, "we have heard about your past activities. You are great heroes, and therefore the king has called you." King Kamsa had called them. We have heard that your arms are very strong, The king and all the people present here desire to see a display of your wrestling abilities. A citizen should be obedient and please the mind of the ruling king. Acting in that way, citizen attains all kinds of good fortune. One who does not care to act obediently is made unhappy because of the king's anger. You are cowherd boys, and we have heard that while tending your cows in the forest, you enjoy wrestling with each other. We wish, therefore, for you to join with us in wrestling so that all the people present here, including the king, will be pleased. Krishna immediately understood the purpose of Chanura's statements, and he prepared to wrestle with him. But according to the time and circumstances, Krishna spoke as follows. He says to Chanura, "You are a subject of the king of the Bhojas, and you live in the jungle. We are also indirectly king's subjects, and we try to please him as far as possible. This offer of wrestling is a great favor of his, but the fact is we are simply boys. We sometimes play in the forest of Vrindavan with our friends who are our own age. We think that the combat between a person, we think that to combat persons of equal age and strength is good for us, but to fight great wrestlers like you would not be good for the audience. It would contradict their religious principles, which is you should fight people of your own age." Krishna thus indicated that the celebrated strong wrestlers should not challenge Krishna and Balarama to fight. In reply to this, Chanura said, "My dear Krishna, we can understand very well that you are neither a child nor a young man. You are transcendental to everyone, as is your big brother, Balaram. You have already killed the elephant Koalapida, who was capable of fighting thousands of other elephants. You have killed him in a wonderful way. Because of your strength, it behoves you to compete with the strongest wrestlers amongst us. I therefore wish to wrestle with you, and your elder brother Balram will wrestle with Mustika." Srila Prabhupada Maharaj ki jai. Om Jnanatimrindhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshuranmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurudev Namah Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Brinda Braheshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhu Evasha Patitanam Pavnebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhaktivedanta Swami iti namane. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharane Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatade Shatarane. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasdi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. So I have 5 minutes more, so I shall. So the way Chanura, the wrestler, addressed Krishna, we can see he recognized Krishna as a transcendental personality. So he obviously had, in the past, accumulated good karma, and so he respectfully, although he was actually employed by Kamsa, Krishna's maternal uncle, who was inimical towards Krishna, he was nevertheless a person who recognized Krishna as the transcendental personality and Balaram Maharaj. So the likewise killing of the Kuvalepida elephant, that was a great mercy by Lord. Kuvalepida would receive liberation and move several steps ahead in his spiritual progress. These are the inconceivable results of Krishna's Leela and his mercy. So as we heard, in the wrestling arena, different persons saw Krishna in different ways. Just as Krishna's flute sounds different to different people, consistent with their spiritual relationship with Krishna. So in the evenings when Krishna, after grazing the thousands, hundreds of thousands of cows, the day is complete and he calls them, he blows his flute, he plays his flute, and each cow has a personal message in that flute. The cow hears the name of that cow and Krishna inviting that cow to come back home, back to the end of the day until the next day. So rasas are actually described by our acharyas. So one of our eminent spiritual leaders, Srila Sridhar Swami, explains that there were 10 attitudes towards Krishna present in the wrestling arena. There was fury perceived by the wrestlers, wonder by the men, the no average people, conjugal attraction by the women present, laughter by the cowherd boys, chivalry by the kings, mercy by his parents, terror by Kamsa, ghastliness, those who saw Krishna in his universal form, who just thought he was. So, and then the peaceful neutrality by the yogis and loving devotion by the Vrishnis, his kinsfolk. So these are described as rasas by our acharyas, and these are all spiritual in nature. In the material world, all these rasas are a mere shadow of what is meant to be in the spiritual world. Srila Garupa Goswami, one of the 6 Goswamis of Vrindavan, disciples of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he explains that there are 5 main rasas: neutrality, the yogis; servitude, Shri Hanumanji; friendship, the Gopas of Vrindavan; parental love and conjugal love, Mother Radharani. And there are 7 secondary rasas: amazement, humor, chivalry, compassion, fury, fear, and dread. So there are altogether 12 rasas, and object of all of these rasas is Sri Krishna himself. Sri Bhaktivedanta Saraswati Thakur explains, Krishna himself is the rasa, the taste or mallow of a particular relationship. And certainly one who receives the rasa becomes anandi, i.e. filled with bliss. So rasa is further described, that which is beyond imagination, heavy with wonder, relish in the heart, shining with goodness. So that is the spiritual nature of the rasas. So Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur also explains that the people like the wrestlers and Kamsa and the impious rulers perceive Krishna as dangerous, angry, or threatening because they fail to understand the actual position of the personality of Godhead. Actually, Lord Krishna is everybody's friend and well-wisher, but because we rebel against him, he chastises us purely to help us advance in our spiritual life, spiritual progress. So, that is the reason why some of the people were perceiving Krishna as threatening, but Krishna is actually very merciful. And today, we all thank you for being present here, and Srila Prabhupada making this wonderful place for us to come and worship. And I wish you a very good evening. Please have a wonderful time. Thank you for giving me the opportunity. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, dear friends and devotees of Bhaktivedanta Manor. Welcome on this auspicious day of Kartik. And the last 5 days of Kartik actually are running, Bhishma Panchang. So it's really nice that you've come to take darshan. We'll shortly be starting Damodarastakam. For these prayers, we request that you remain seated. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna. Hare Hare. Hare Rama. Hare Rama. Hare Rama. Rama Rama. Hare Hare.
Ishwaram Sachidanandarupam Lasat Kundalam Gokule Brajmanam Namamishwaram 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 Sachidanandarupam Lasat Kundalam Gokule Brajmanam Yashoda Biolu Kala Davamanam Paramristamatyanta Todrut Gopya